What's up, you guys? Matt with Matt Builds coming at you with another video. So last week I had to change the oil in the Jeep, and I got up underneath there and noticed I had some oil leaking right at the front of the bell housing, between the bell housing and the back of the engine. Got up, was checking all the fluids, and noticed that I had really low brake fluid in my reservoir, in the brake reservoir. And that Jeep is a 6-speed manual transmission. So got underneath there, got looking, and the slave cylinder on the clutch is leaking, and it's actually running down in the bell housing. So I got a new slave cylinder. We're going to get underneath here. From what I understand, it's a pretty simple job. The hardest part is probably going to be bleeding the clutch, and if you've watched my video that I did on my Toyota Tacoma, I did cover that process, but I'll run through it again on this one. So let's get down to it. All right, you guys, so this is the one that I got. This is the part number. It is made by, I guess you pronounce that Luke, I'm not sure, but there's the part number. I will leave a link in the description below. You can get this on Amazon. If you click on my link, it helps me out, supports me on the channel. I am affiliated with them. So, but this is the part number right here. I think it was like $59 normally, but you know, Amazon said it was on sale for like $39. So we'll open the box real quick, kind of see what it looks like here. I did want to make sure, let's see, do this one-handed here.
2 hours later.
And there we go. So I did want to get one. I did some research, and I'd seen several that, so it's going to be mounted in the Jeep like this, and I've seen several with the bleeder valve kind of down here on the side, and I didn't want that because if you know anything about bleeding brakes or anything, you kind of want that bleeder up high, so that any air that gets in there, it'll work its way out the top. Typically your air doesn't get underneath the fluid, it gets on top of the fluid. So, and this one's supposed to be pretty simple to bleed. It's supposed to be able to just turn it like that to bleed it, and so forth. But that's the one I got, and again, that's the part number on the side right there. Use the link below and help support the channel. Let's get underneath the Jeep and get this thing taken off. All right, you guys, we're underneath the Jeep. This is the slave cylinder right here we got to get to. So we have that bolt right there on the bottom, right there. And then there's another one, if I can get it up in here to show you guys. On the top, I've already pulled the nut off, but that's the stud sticking out right there. So we've already got the top one off. We're gonna pull that last one off the bottom right there, and I'll be back with you guys. And by the way, we're on the driver's side of the Jeep. All right, we got the slave cylinder unbolted now. So what I had to do, I'm trying to get up here and show you guys. So there was a metal bracket that the clutch line is hooked to right there, and it actually goes through that top stud. I actually had to kind of pry and work that off, but I was able to get that off and leave it still attached to the brake line up there, or the clutch line, I'm sorry. So now we're going to take, there's this metal clip right there on the line. We're going to push that metal clip, looks like towards the back of the Jeep, and then that line should come off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the new slave cylinder ready to go. So once I pull that line loose, I can hook the new one straight up, and I should have very minimal fluid loss, and should be very minimal air get in the line, so it shouldn't be too hard to bleed. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I have the new one installed. I have the line hooked up. I went ahead and bled it some by hand before I put it back in there. So basically I just pumped the front up here, and once I pumped it up a few times, 10, 15, 20 times, I felt some resistance against it. I held it squeezed in, and this bleeder here, you can just turn it to bleed it. So while holding the slave cylinder in, turn this all the way loose till it stopped, and it would, you know, squirt air and fluid out. I did that till I pretty much had nothing but fluid come out. So now I'm going to reinstall this back into the side of the transmission where it was, and then we'll finish bleeding it with the actual clutch pedal. All right, so we have the new one in. That was a little tricky getting up there to that bleeder valve that's up inside there. But I was able to get a majority of the air out before I actually installed the new slave cylinder. And then I pumped it, you know, by hand, bled it out. And then I was able to work it back up in there. And then I got the wife to come out and pump the clutch pedal for me and bleed it. And if you're unsure of that process, just a real quick way to tell you to do it. You want to pump it 5, 10, 15 times. Make sure you got a good pedal on the clutch, and then hold it to the floor. Loosen that bleeder all the way up, and it's going to blow a bunch of water, a bunch of air and fluid out. And once it is finished blowing the fluid out, you want to maintain holding the pedal, tighten the bleeder back up, and then start pumping the pedal again. And you want to do that until you have no more air coming out of that bleeder valve. But there it is, you guys. It's put in. I did leave the front drive shaft in and everything. It was a little more of a hassle to do it that way. But it would have been much easier without the drive shaft in, but it is doable. We got the new slave cylinder in now. And you also want to make sure you keep an eye on your fluid reservoir up top. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.